Elon Musk tweets Friday, Twitter deal temporarily on hold, then clarifies he's still committed to the acquisition. A needed clarification, as it seems there's been every effort to stop this deal from going through. Bringing you what's ignored, sensationalized, unbalanced, misleading, or just plain false. Here's your Media Malfeasance for the second week of May. Musk's purchasing pause tweet comes just a day after reports feds opened an investigation into Elon Musk. The Washington Journal reports the Securities and Exchange Commission is probing Mr. Musk's tardy submission of a public form that investors must file when they buy more than 5% of a company's shares. Because this deal hasn't been public enough. We were also inundated this week with headlines that Elon Musk would reverse the Trump ban. But they left the part out where Trump has repeatedly said he would not return to Twitter and stay on his own platform, Truth Social. Also left out this extremely relevant point.
This is the point that I'm trying to make, which is perhaps not getting across, is that banning Trump from Twitter didn't end Trump's voice. It will amplify it among the right. And this is why it is morally wrong and flat out stupid.
And this is what legacy media just can't seem to comprehend, the fundamentals of free speech. Here's the Associated Press. Elon Musk boasts that he's acquiring Twitter to defend freedom of speech, but he has long used the platform to attack those who disagree with him. Free speech is the freedom to disagree. Elon Musk, an erratic visionary, revels in contradiction. There is nothing contradictory about being a proponent of free speech and using that speech to defend your positions. Free press, also in the First Amendment, is supposed to mean holding those in power accountable, challenging them, which might mean disagreeing. Is the AP using its free speech to attack Elon Musk? How can the AP have so little self-awareness of its own contradiction? Have such a lack of understanding of the First Amendment, foundational to its own existence? As the press, you might want to get a better handle on what our constitutionally protected freedom of speech really means. Maybe the AP should focus its attention on our new disinformation czar, an actual threat to protection of free speech.
But there are a lot of people who shouldn't be verified, who aren't, legit, in my opinion. I mean, they are real people, but they're not trustworthy. Anyway, so verified people can essentially start to edit Twitter the same sort of way that Wikipedia is, so they can add context to certain tweets.
So Nina Jankowicz wants blue-checked people like herself who has actually been caught promoting disinfo to be able to edit your tweets, your speech, because you aren't trustworthy unless you're part of her elite class.
Breathe it all in, children. This is all for you. Come. Come along.
Maybe the AP should investigate why the government is weaponizing the FBI to target news operations, according to an FBI whistleblower.
We don't see a lot of investigations into news organizations. It's not common to see a criminal investigation, particularly one categorized the way that this is alerting, and it's surprising based on the public information that is provided.
There must be more pushback, like in this case. Appeals court reinstates Texas law prohibiting social media companies from banning users over political views. And we must hold lying Merrick Garland accountable for targeting private citizens just concerned about their own children in school.
7 months later, we're learning a whistleblower has come forward revealing the FBI has opened several investigations into parents and local officials all across the country. In one instance, the FBI interrogated a mom because she, quote, belonged to a right-wing moms group known as Moms for Liberty, and because she also just happened to, have a gun, which is your right in the United States.
Instead, legacy media is used to propagate lies about the Senate abortion vote. Except it was the majority vote against the expansive federal abortion bill, 51-49.
I think that's enough to say it's time to get rid of the filibuster. We need to protect voting rights. We need to protect women's rights. And understand this, Mitch McConnell has made clear they're coming after everybody.
Yet Elizabeth Warren, the AP, New York Times, Washington Post all mislead and report that it was a GOP filibuster, leaving the false impression that a minority blocked a bill that had majority support. Same tactics were used to squash Dinesh D'Souza's documentary release about mass ballot harvesting. But notice how often fact checkers like PolitiFact refer to the trailer for the documentary. trailer is mentioned 5 times in just the first 7 paragraphs. Did any fact checker actually watch the full documentary? It spends more time trying to attack the character of the producer rather than dig into any of the documentary's claims or video evidence. Oh, but they brought out the generic experts say refutation again. The fact check calls into question the accuracy of the geo-tracking used to identify 2,000 mules harvesting about 400,000 illegal votes. Then why was the geo-tracking good enough for the CDC? How was the FBI able to use it to arrest January 6th protesters? Why did Chief Justice Roberts say in a 2018 opinion, when the government tracks the location of a cell phone, it achieves near perfect surveillance? PolitiFact goes on with a straw man argument, the legality of a family member or designated person to drop off a ballot on behalf of another voter, something the documentary doesn't contest. But Bob wouldn't need to go to 5 different drop boxes, some at 3 a.m., and drop off more than one ballot for Grandma. Now would he? But 2,000 mules was all most definitely false. It's so strange that the Yuma County Sheriff has announced voting fraud investigations. It's also just an anomaly that a Virginia County supervisor is facing 82 felony charges, accused of dozens of counts of voter fraud, according to WJHL. There's nothing strange that a Washington's Mason County auditor who dismissed 2020 fraud failed to declare thousands of dollars from Zuckerberg. And elections are still totally safe and secure, even though a woman found a box of over 100 mail-in ballots on a sidewalk in LA that police won't investigate, according to Fox 11. But most can see PolitiFact for what it is. It's a fact that it's just political. According to Washington Free Beacon, a fundraising email from them says, "Help us hold politicians accountable." But its analysis of 300 PolitiFact posts dating back to early March say otherwise. Less than a third of the posts involved claims made by politicians, and the ratings were more favorable to Democrats by a large margin. I am shocked. For KLIM.News, I'm Kristi Leigh.